Now going over to the business blunder of the day of Ford recalling the Bronco yet again. That's brought to us thanks to Donna Sullivan, who's a writer at Yahoo Finance in the Street. And they say, quote, Ford recalls one of its best-selling vehicles. And they say, quote, when Ford released its completely redesigned and modernized Ford Bronco in 2021, car enthusiasts lost their minds, which, yeah, many of them did. And to Ford's credit, I love the fact you can give the stick shift. Exceedingly rare these days for an SUV. In fact, I believe it's the only one, depending on how you classify the Jeep Gladiator, but some say it's a light truck, nevertheless, it's exceedingly rare. Now, again, some people are saying, oh yeah, it's a magnificent work of art. And now they say, quote, in a headline that's usually glowing for Consumer Reports, the team declared the SUV worth the wait. What? Really? I don't believe that for a second. I mean, I don't believe they meant it for a second. It's worth the wait? A Ford product? Maybe a Mustang, but even those have recalls, as much as I love American Muscle. And they say, quote, the vehicle is considered a bestseller in the SUV category. Collectively, Ford has sold more than 1 million Bronco and Bronco Sports in the U.S. since 2020, per Ford Authority. They say, quote, though beloved and best-selling, these vehicles have nonetheless faced their share of recalls. Engine valve intakes, 2020-2021. Cracked fuel injector, 2021-2024. 12-volt battery, 2021-2023. 10-speed automatic transmission. I don't want Vic to blame too much, but they've got a stick shift. And now to say the latest Ford recall. Now, more than 200,000 2025 to 2026 Bronco and Bronco Sport models are being recalled because their instrument panel might not show critical information such as warning lights or vehicle speed, which, Lord knows, if you have a Ford vehicle, there's going to be usually a lot of warning lights. So, I mean, of all the things that need to work, that'd be one of them. They note that the failures can increase the risk of a crash, so the models are being recalled for instrument panel display failure. And again, they say this recall is 25B788000. There you can see a picture of a Ford Bronco outdoors being used, driven presumably, which is pretty rare because, again, I believe this is now their 12th recall for the Ford Bronco, which, again, it's very important that these vehicles are sold because, again, look at most automobile companies, a majority of the profits comes from trucks and SUVs. And again, there's consumer demand for that, but one of the reasons they keep making these things, so many of them, again, very profitable. There's a reason Ford stopped selling all those subcompact cars, same with General Motors for the most part. And Ford, geez Louise, I believe totally they've had 117 recalls in 2025. It's a record year, not a good way. And again, I always ask folks, like, why buy it now? Now, if you're like me, you only buy things with stick shifts because I'm weird. I love having a third pedal, also known as manual transmission. If I had to get a new SUV, I wouldn't have much choice. It's the last thing out there. And again, I love that Ford has that option. It's very rare. That's cool. But to have yet another recall for this vehicle, which again, a very important vehicle, you're making a lot of money on it. Consumer demand is there. For now, I say Ford, you are once again the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button, greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.